So we finally get to see the new district attorney, Margot. Am I saying her name right? Margot? Played by Elizabeth Hendrickson. Let me tell you something. I love Elizabeth Hendrickson. I do. Like ever since she played on All My Children as Frankie, and then she played Maggie, and then of course she went on to Y&R to play Chloe Mitchell. So I've been following her career for a hot minute. Um, Here's my problem with my main problem with GH though. The cast is too big. You know what I'm saying? As much as I love Elizabeth Henderson, I felt like you could have just brought somebody on as a day player to play DA. I'm just saying. But from my understanding, Elizabeth Hendrickson is on contract now with GH, which, you know, proves my point that the cast is too damn big. Because here's the thing, this is why we get subpar writing from the writers on the show. Part of the reason I feel like the writing is subpar on this show is because of the cast. It's too big. Think about it. When you bring in new cast members, you know what that means? That's new characters that the writers have to write for. They have to come up with new backstories for these characters. They have to entangle them with the characters that are already a part of the show. It's hard to do. It's not easy writing for all these people. That's why we don't see other storylines for days at a time, weeks at a time, and they get backburnered because they keep adding more and more people. So it messes up the writing on this show. You know what I'm saying? It starts to lack. Like that's why I feel like Y&R and Days have a bit better writing than GH because they don't use a bunch of cast members in one episode. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't do all of that. Their cast is not bloated. You know what I mean? So it's easier for the writers to come up with edgy storylines, fun storylines, and keep everything the momentum going. It's easy for them to do that because they have a lesser cast than GH. Don't get me wrong, General Hospital has an amazing ensemble cast. Like you couldn't ask for better actors. From Michelle Stafford to James Patrick Stewart to Laura Wright, Maurice Bernard, Steve Burton, Finola Hughes, just to name a few. It's like it's a who's who of actors on this show. You know what I mean? It's freaking amazing. But having that many heavy hitters on this show, and then you add more heavy hitters, the writing is gonna lack. You know what I'm saying? Is that's all I'm saying. But I do love this show, but I just feel like they need to trim the fat a bit. I can think of quite a few to get rid of, even though like I said, I hate when people lose their job. That's not what I would want, but it's they're just bringing too many people on. Like, and our veterans that we love for this show, they get cut in the process for all these other people that come on. So it's not fair. But I'm just saying. But anyway, the DA pulled the move that even I would have pulled. Denying Carly Bell, that was inevitable. I mean, hell, Diane saw that coming a mile away. She should have known that they were going to try that tactic. I mean, that's just common sense. If I'm a DA, I'm definitely going to try to deny the wife of the Port Charles Don Bell. Like, come on. Her being Sonny Corinthos' wife actually does her no favors in this case. It does her no favors, especially when she's trying to make bail. Even Diane warned her of that. Diane warned Sonny of that. Her being Mrs. Sonny Corinthos works against her rather than in her favor. Because the feds, the cops, they've been trying to get Sonny for years. So what a coup it would be for the DA to take down his wife. It sends a strong message. So I already knew that she was going to try to deny bail. And of course, she was granted her denied bail. She was, granted that. So Carly has to go to Pettonville, which is not surprising because, like I said, I knew the bail was going to be denied. Because if I'm the DA, I would have brought up the same reasons. I mean, her husband owns a private jet. Her husband owns a private island. He has means to get her out of the country. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, being the DA, denying her bail would be the smartest move you can make. I would have done that. Should I seen that coming before the arraignment even happened? I was like, yeah, she's definitely gonna be denied bail, because that's what I would have done. And if I was a judge, I would have said, yeah, I'm denying your bail. But as a defense attorney, Diane made the right move too by suggesting house arrest. But I knew that wasn't gonna fly. I mean, if her last name wasn't Corinthos and she wasn't married to Sonny, she might have got bail on house arrest. She probably would have got it, but it ain't gonna work out in her favor. So of course Carly was thinking about changing her testimony, her plea. Changing your plea at this point ain't gonna help you with bail. I'm sorry, but it's not. I no. This is why, like I said Friday, she should have not have made that plea to begin with. Um, plead guilty. I mean, not guilty by reason of insanity. I wouldn't have made that plea. I would have just said not guilty. You know what I mean? But I think even if you plead not guilty, more than likely she still would have been denied bail. More than likely. Um, Jason, I don't know how he's gonna get her out of this mess. I mean, even if the blanket comes into play, because they think the key is to finding that blanket. I don't think so. That blanket, I don't think that's gonna be her saving grace. I really don't think so. I mean, you're gonna get all charges dropped for her because of a blanket. I don't see that happening. I honestly could say I don't see that. Um, but like I said, Elizabeth Hendrickson is on contract, so from what I hear, she's getting a backstory and she has ties to somebody in Port Charles. We don't know who. Um, Probably Julian, probably Sonny, probably Finn, but she definitely got ties. I heard rumors that they might bring her on as Finn and Chase's sister. That's what I heard. I don't know how true that is because they never mentioned a sister. Well, hell, Finn never mentioned a brother, so it's possible they do have a sister. He never even mentioned a brother, so um, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with her character. I'm very interested to find out her backstory. Um, Alexis, it's about damn time she went to go see a therapist. It's about time. Hallelujah. Cause I think I said this a while back, but I'm like, and I've been said this before. She's attracted to bad boys. That's what she likes. She likes bad men. Is what she likes. I always wanted to know why she liked bad men. It was like there got to be a root to it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some deep root to why she like dangerous men or corrupt men. It's like there's a reason for it. I am so happy she went to go see Kevin about that. Thank God. It's a long time coming. Cause she had the chance to be with so many good men and she passed it up for dangerous, rotten ass men. So I'm trying to find out why. And I'm glad they had her go down this route. I love the direction they're going with Alexis. From her battles with alcoholism to this whole therapy thing, trying to find out what's wrong with her. Like, cause she is a controlling person. And that's what she was trying to figure out with Kevin. Like, how come she, as a controlling person, loses control when it comes down to men like Julian and Sonny and Jerry Jacks? How does these men make her lose control when she's supposed to have control? I love it. I love the direction you're going with her. It's getting complex, and I love it because we're getting more layers to her. We're finding more out about her, something new. And it's so funny to find these things out about her because Alexis has been on the show now for 22 years and we're finally starting to 22 years later we're getting to the root of her issues when it comes to things like men and her background with the Cassidines. Like we're finally getting this backstory and we know her backstory, but we're getting to the root of things, which is good. 22 years later, but better late than never. um so I love it though. She wants to, Kevin wants to do a full session with her. She wanted to just come randomly. I'm thinking in my head like, Alexis, I understand Kevin is a friend of yours or y'all cool or whatever, but he is a therapist. He does have other clients beside you. He can't just see you whenever you feel like it. You have to schedule an appointment. That's how it works. Um, Her and Finn, I'm glad that Finn, when he went to the AA meeting and stuff like that, he wants to fix his friendship with Alexis because he really didn't mean to hurt her. Like, but like I said before, Alexis admitted even to Kevin today that she knew he had feelings for Anna when she got into this whole situation with him. She knew that. And she lashed out at him because she started to fall for him. You know what I'm saying? And, it's good that they're getting back on good terms and stuff. Cause like I said, I like her and Finn as friends. I think they're great as friends. If they were to be a couple, I would have been cool with that too. But we all know that the writers were gonna put him with Anna. I mean, we figured that much. Um, Anna is getting on my damn nerves. Again, she's getting on my nerves with this whole situation with her and Peter. Peter's a jackass, like seriously. Now he gonna sit there and tell Robert, "Oh, I want my phone call." First of all, Peter, you're not dealing with the PCPD. The PCPD is supposed to give you a phone call. See, this is what criminals don't understand when you're dealing with federal agencies and stuff like that. Agents are not the same as cops. They're not Jordan Ashford. You know, Robert is not Jordan. He's not the commissioner of the PCPD. He's a WSB agent. There's a difference. Agents don't have to give you a phone call. That's at their discretion. See, regular cops, when you get arrested and booked, you get a phone call with them to call your lawyer, whoever. Agents, they don't have to do that. Nope, the rules are different for them. They're mildly different for agents than they are for regular police departments and stuff like that. So you don't get a phone call unless they tell you you can have a phone call. And now this bitch gonna sit there talking about, oh, I think my mother would have something to say about that. Now you want to pull the mom card? Oh, my mom would have something to say about that. Didn't the other day you said that she's not your mother? She's just some bitch that gave birth to you. But now you want to play the mommy card? Sit your ass down. Nobody, you know, Robert, I swear, I was waiting for Robert to beat the hell out of him. Just beat the shit out of him. I don't care what Anna got to say at this point. Whoop his ass, whether that's her child or not. Bust his ass, cause who do you think he talking to? Oh, my mom. You just said that that's some bitch that gave birth to you, right? Now all of a sudden that's mom. Oh, my mom. Really? I am so sick of that. Ugh. He's a son of a bitch. I swear he is. Like I would not tolerate this. I'm sorry. This is why I cannot be in law enforcement. I could not be an agent. I can't be a cop because dealing with criminals like that, I would just, you know how you go in the interrogation room and they got the camera? I would have to unplug that camera and beat your ass. And then when I plug it back in, and if your lawyer asks, oh, what happened to my client? He slipped and fell. I was trying to handcuff him and he just slipped on something and fell. That's all. Hey, it'll work. But anyway, I have a feeling I have a feeling that in order for Peter to get out of this whole legal mess, he's gonna try to bargain with Drew. Basically tell Drew, oh, I'll give you the flash drive with your memories on it if the WSB let me out. Sorry for the interruption. I swear, every time I'm doing a video, somebody calls my phone. Every time. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, he gonna try to bargain with the WSB and Drew. Basically tell them, I'll give you his memories in exchange for my freedom. I'm sorry, but if I'm a WSB agent, if I'm a cop, period, there's no way in hell I'm making a deal like that. No way. No way. You want to know why? Why would Robert or the WSB give a fuck about Drew's memories? They don't know Drew, so why would they care? That's not a bargaining chip because that's not something they care about. Remember, 6 years ago, back in 2012, when AJ Quartermain came back from the dead and Dante and the PCPD arrested him for all his past crimes, remember how he got out of that? He bargained. He told them, I'll give you a bigger fish that y'all want. Cesar Faison. Because remember, Faison was at the same clinic as him. So that was a big enough bargaining chip. That's something I would let you go for. Or at least give you a reduced sentence. You bargaining somebody's memories that we don't give a shit about, that we don't even know this person, you think that's gonna enough to get you out of this? You're bugging if you think I would make a deal like that. Robert better not make no deals with this bastard. He gonna sit there and tell Robert, oh, I got information that you would want. What information? What, his memories? That's the information you have? I hope that's not just all the info that he got. And then he gonna sit there and say, release me first and then I'll give you the info. He must think he dealing with an amateur. You're dealing with Robert Scorpio. You ain't dealing with no cop off the street. Like really? I'll give you the information when you release me. Who does? Where they do that at? No police agency, no federal agency I've ever heard of makes backdoor deals like that, where they let you go and release you, drop all charges before they get the information that they want. There's no way in hell. First of all, you have to give the information first, and they have to see if it's big enough to either let you out completely or reduce your sentence. You know, Peter, He's such an, even behind bars, he's an arrogant son of a bitch. He really thinks that he has the power, he has the control. Oh, I have a bargaining chip. You have nothing. Nothing that they want. You have something Drew want. Drew doesn't count in this situation. The WSB don't give a flying shit about him. He's a civilian. Why? They don't even know him. He's non-important to them. So I don't see how that bargaining chip can help you. Um, so I guess Andre is just gonna have to do the procedure or whatever because he's gonna get his notes from the WSB to do the procedure. And of course, Franco is eavesdropping. Speaking of Franco and Elizabeth, I agree with Elizabeth on this. I don't think they should have a big wedding. I think they should just elope. You know what I'm saying? Like just elope. You see what happened the last time they tried to have a wedding? It got, earthquake, all the bullshit happened. So I think they should just elope. But he brought up a good question. He wants to meet her family, her dad, Jeff Weber. He wants to meet her mother. I think we all want to meet her mother because we never met Elizabeth's mother before. He wants her sister Sarah to be there. Here's the thing. I have been saying this for years that Elizabeth needs family on this show. Her brother Steve is in jail, which is also Franco's brother. Um, ain't that kind of weird? I just realized that Elizabeth and Franco both share a brother, Steven Weber. They both share a brother. Ain't that crazy? Um, but I always wanted her family to be on the show. But now that I think about it, it kind of doesn't make sense for her family to be at this wedding. And the reason I say that is because, like, even Elizabeth said it, she's not close with her family. And besides, her family, I think, Sarah's in another country. As I said, Steve's in prison in Memphis, which I think is total bullshit. He should be released. Ain't it ironic that their brother Steve is in prison for murder? Mind you, he murdered a criminal to harvest his organs so that way he could help a innocent person live. And yet Franco's walking the streets and he actually murdered people for fun, for art. You see the irony in that shit? See that? But anyway, I really don't see the point in her family being at the wedding because they've never been to any of Elizabeth's major life events. She's been married multiple times. None of her family has ever been to not one of her weddings. She's given birth to three sons. None of her family has ever been there for the birth of her kids. I don't even think her mother and father ever even met their grandchildren. Her sister Sarah hasn't been on the show in years, and I think the last time Sarah was on the show was when she slept with Lucky. But I believe her and Sarah, I mean, yeah, her and Sarah, I think, patched things up. And remember, her other sister, her newfound sister Hayden, is off living La Vida Loca somewhere with a baby, and hiding under an alias. So it's like, what's kind of? I really don't see the point in bringing the family on the show for this wedding because they've never been a part of her life. Like even when she was raped, they didn't come. Her parents didn't show up for that. They never been there for none of her major events. So why should this wedding be any different? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I would love to see him, because like we never seen her mom. Of course we all know who Jeff Weber is, but we never seen her mom. We know who Sarah is. We seen Sarah. The one person in the family we never seen was her mom's. One person we never saw was her mother. I don't even know if we even know her mom's name. I think it just says Jeff Weber is married to an unnamed woman or whatever. I don't know. But I think it would be cool though if her family did come. But logically, I don't see the point. But it would be cool. Um, I am for the whole elope idea because I think that's the smart way to go, especially when you had one failed wedding. You might as well go for something simple and plain. Um, Dr. Bench, he needs an ass whooping. Like he was so blatant today. Like he did an evaluation on Kiki. He pretty much trashed her in the evaluation and told her he'll fix the evaluation if he likes what he see, and put his hotel room number, his card on the table. I said he's such a bastard. He needs an ass whooping. So now Kiki finally told somebody what happened. She told Elizabeth that he basically told her he'll fix her evaluation for sex. Here's my thing though, because I feel like with Kiki at this point, she can't go to the board, not yet, about sexual harassment. She can't. This is what I think she should do. And this is, I've been saying this for a while now. Record every conversation you have with him. Record it. So that way you can outmaneuver him and send evidence to the board. Without evidence, it's your word, it's his word against yours. And he got the voicemail that you left him a couple of months ago. You have no evidence. Get some evidence first, then take it to the board. Because if you go to the board with what, oh, he sexually harassed me, it's not gonna fly because you ain't got no proof of nothing. You have nothing. All you have is your words. That's all you have. He actually has a voicemail with you on it that could work in his favor. You know what I mean? It's like she got to think smart. You can't just go to the board and to Michael and to Monica with just hearsay. You know what I'm saying? Just your word. That, I'm pretty sure Michael and them, they would believe her, but it's not about what they believe. It's about what you can prove. If you can't prove it, it doesn't matter what they believe. It doesn't matter. You got to have the proof to back that up. And I feel bad for her because I have a feeling with this whole sexual harassment thing, she has a battle on her hands if she goes straight up against him like this without evidence. She's going to have a battle. Plus, with the whole she slept with Griffin's secret looming over her head, the emotional stress alone on her is going to be too much. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be too much. But anyway, I think that's everything in this episode I covered. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode, and I will see y'all all tomorrow. Have a great day. Peace.